What's going on, guys? Bengal King here, coming back at you with another video. Today we are doing another realistic rebuild. This time we got the LA Rams, and last time I did this, two things happened that I did not particularly care for. One is my video got restricted somehow for advertising, and that, like, yeah, I didn't really make any money on that video, which is like, that's not my big concern. My big concern is that when that happens, YouTube entirely kills any type of push that they give the video, which means that my Rams rebuild is my least viewed rebuild by a lot this year. And that is kind of decent because it was a weird one, because I didn't realize just how screwed the Rams were in a cap situation. So this time around, even though it is realistic, I'm taking over as general manager. That's the whole point of these rebuilds. And we're going to have to make some tough decisions, some really tough decisions at the start of this thing, if we want to have any type of long-term success, because the cap situation for this Rams team is very, very bad, and it got even worse when they traded for Jalen Ramsey. So between Todd Gurley, Brandon Cooks, Robert Woods, Jared Goff especially, Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, I named them already, Todd Gurley, a bunch of guys, I probably repeated names, but there are a ton of huge contracts on this team. It was so tough to work with the first time around. We're making the tough decisions that we have to make in order to have the success going for this team long term. I kind of said that already, but appreciate you guys watching. Hope you guys are interested and excited for this video. If you're going to buy tickets for anything, make sure to use code Bengal on SeatGeek. You get yourself a nice $20 discount. And let's go ahead and jump right into it. This one is going to be pretty tough. Even though it's a decent team, it's going to be pretty tough. So 8-7 in real life up to this point. I'm recording this week 17, so the games haven't finished yet. For most of them haven't finished yet, so you guys are watching this after week 17 has already ended in terms of the Sunday games. Probably this should be going up Sunday night, I would say. So take that with a grain of salt if you're watching this on the day that it comes out. If not, don't even worry about it. Let's take a look at this team. Got Andrew Whitworth at left tackle. Great left tackle, superstar development. Here's the problem: he's 37 years old. Definitely not someone that we're going to be able to retain long term. Long term might even be till the end of the season. That might be the length that we can possibly keep him on the team. Jeremiah Noteboom Joseph? I'm not really too familiar with him, honestly. Austin Blythe at center. David Edwards at right guard. I guess he was drafted as a tackle, or played tackle at Wisconsin, but I guess he's moved over to right guard for the Rams this year. We also got Rob Havenstein playing right tackle for them. He's been kind of their long-term right tackle. He's been starting there for a while now. And then at tight end, I'd way rather have Gerald Everett play over Tyler Higbee. And the biggest reason for that is he has star development, and he is roughly the same age. Tyler Higbee's what, 26? I think Gerald Everett is 26 or 27, 25 even. So, you know, perfectly good starter for us there. And then, of course, at quarterback, we have Jared Goff. Not a huge fan of him. He was paid like he was the best quarterback in the NFL when he still can't read defenses and still relies completely on Sean McVay to figure out everything for him. Now, here's a big problem with Jared Goff, is he has a massive, massive, massive contract. I don't want to keep him long term, and the thing is, we can't just outright cut him. What I'll probably do is I'll look for a trade partner. If we release him, the cap penalty would be over 60 mil while clearing almost no space for this first year. Of course, Todd Gurley's a beast, and then the receiving core is really solid too. Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, Brandon Cooks is such a good combo. But we won't be able to retain all these guys. Cooper Kupp, definitely want to keep him. Superstar development, only 26 years old. He's a very, very good player. I would say probably the best receiver on this Rams team, even though Brandon Cooks has put up the best numbers, and Robert Woods is the highest rated. Tied with Cooper Kupp, also have Josh Reynolds. On the defensive side of the ball, we've got Eric Weddle, was such a beast for the Chargers, even played well for the Ravens, and then has held it down for the Rams to a decent bit. Taylor Rapp has played very poorly this year. At another safety spot, but John Johnson's a good player. Samson Ebukam, Corey Littleton, Bryce Hager, I want to say, and Dante Fowler Jr. Also have Obanaya Okoronkwo. Now, I almost thought this was Brecken Hager for a second, former Texas Longhorn, but I don't even think he's on a team. Micah Kaiser in there as well. On the defensive line, it's actually not too bad. Aaron Donald is, you know, probably the best defensive player in the NFL. Michael Brockers is good. And then they have Greg Gaines, a rookie out of Washington, who is a really good nose tackle for the Huskies, and he's only a rookie, so he's got a lot of potential there. Could definitely improve his game. And then a quarterback, Jalen Ramsey, still a pretty good player. Nickel Roby Coleman. I mean, like, even David Long. Like, they got such a young team. They're so solid. Troy Hill's 28, but not very fast. Probably not going to keep him long term. But yeah, not much is going to change this first season. It's already week 17. So the only thing I really can do is simulate to the wild card, load in the 2021 or 2020 draft class, I should say, which I guess I can't do because it's already in the playoffs. So I have to wait till Super Bowl week to load in the draft class. But I'm going to do that, and then I will see you guys for free agency, re-signing players, to draft, all that, the off season. Of course, I have made updates to this draft class, so if you have not re-downloaded it, re-download it to get some of those updates. And yeah. Okay, so Andrew Whitworth is a free agent here. Of course, the overall is Andrew Whitworth retired, as expected. He's 37, 38 probably at the time of this. So we got to bring back potentially Michael Brockers, Dante Fowler Jr., Greg the Leg, Corey Littleton, Austin Blythe. So some decent free agents in here, and they're all an interesting age. And the reason I say that is because the 28 is the age of regression in Madden. And Austin Blythe is only a 77 overall. Corey Littleton is someone I could bring back for 3 years. 4 is not even that bad. 30 years old, he'll go up maybe to 83, 84 overall. So that's decent. I guess we'll bring back Corey Littleton. He wants it to go to free agency, though. Well, I'm not going to franchise tag him. It's going to be $15 million to do so. I gave him more money than he wanted. I'm going to pass on Corey Littleton. I do want to bring back Greg Zuerlein. I do want to bring back Dante Fowler Jr. He's not even that expensive, and he's a solid player. So Dante Fowler Jr. is going to get an extension. He also doesn't want to sign. What is going on? I'm also not going to franchise tag him. Oh, he's listed as an outside linebacker, not a D-end, even though he's a pass rusher. So he's actually only 12.7 mil. So I'm gonna franchise tag Dante Fowler Jr. Nothing has gone right with his rebuild so far, and I think a blue screen kind of coincides with that. Even like talking, I don't feel like I've been on my game. But yeah, let's maybe that blue screen was a reset. I'll have a drink of water out of this ridiculously sized bottle, which is oddly shaped. Shout out to whatever this is, Eternal Water. Sponsored. Hashtag ad. Okay, we are back. Nice little reset. The game says you gotta start this over pretty much. But yeah, I'm gonna let Blythe go. I just don't want to keep around a regressing offensive lineman who's going to be expensive, by the way. Yeah, over 6 mil per year, 28 years old. We have to make tough decisions if we're going to work around this cap, and I'm certainly not going to give Greg Zuerlein over $4 million per year. I'm not going to extend Michael Brockers when he's 29 years old, and we have other super big contracts on this team. I can just bring Greg Zuerlein back in regular free agency where he's going to be cheaper, because kickers are always much cheaper to get in free agency than actually signing them in the re-signing period. We have 20 mil to spend, although I think we probably should not spend it, as Cooper Kupp goes up to superstar X factors, as you can see in that depth chart area. We just don't have money to spend. So I don't want to spend money. It's giving the appearance that we have decent money to spend. We really don't. We really do not. And our offensive line is super weak. We have to make that a huge focus in the draft. Taylor Rapp is going to have to move over to free safety, as Eric Weddle is another name that has retired, which I guess makes sense as well. Taylor Rapp's going to go ahead and slide over. It's not a great option, but maybe he'll be able to develop into something. And then, of course, Kenny Young is not terrible. Micah Kaiser is not terrible, but they're not that good. Clay Matthews is another name that simply is not going to have any trade value or value to him being on the team whatsoever. Might as well cut him, but I guess we don't have to at this point. We need to get better. And in a situation where the Rams have all these star players that they're playing, or that they're paying so much, but they don't exactly have the depth and it's spread out well enough, they're in a bad spot. Now, if you check out savings here, it would be very, very wise of us to trade Jalen Ramsey. It really would be. He's going into the final year of his contract, and he's a great player, don't get me wrong. He's a great player, but we would be able to save some money if we wanted to do that. Checking out his contract, only there for 1 more year. We could renegotiate, something there. But if we take a look just at, let's go into salaries and let's show you guys exactly some of these gigantic cap hits that we're looking to revise in 2020. Jared Goff is $36 million, and he is not the franchise quarterback that I want to work with. I have to get rid of Jared Goff. I have to. Todd Gurley's getting paid way too much for a running back, especially when he's only an 87 overall. If he was like a 97, it's a different story. And he's a great player, don't get me wrong. But in Madden, I don't think this is a good player to have. I think Todd Gurley is a beast. I love him. Loved him at Georgia. He's a great player. Injuries have kind of held him back a little bit, even over the course of his career, even in college as well. But it doesn't make sense to keep him for that amount of money. Brandon Cooks is way too expensive for what he brings to the table. There's so many players here that are beyond expensive for their ability. Tyler Higbee certainly goes into that as well. Clay Matthews. Some of these players we have to trade or cut. Troy Hill is even expensive for what he brings to the table. I think even though this is like we're focusing on the realistic aspect, and that really is the 2020 NFL draft class being in there, I'm going to make some wild moves as a GM in this rebuild. I'm telling you right now, we're going to make some big trades, and draft day might be the perfect spot to start orchestrating some of those, especially considering this team does not have a first round pick. All right, first trade is going to be Tyler Higbee, a third and a fourth for a 1 and a 2 next year from the Broncos. So we're playing the long game there. Pick for pick trade with Tyler Higbee as incentive. Getting rid of a pretty big contract there for what I imagine is going to be my backup tight end going into year 2. As I said, I'm going to make some real big liberties as the GM in this rebuild, and that is certainly one of them. We're going to get rid of some of these contracts. I'm telling you, Jared Goff is not going to last on this team. I promise. I promise he will not. Now, what I'm also going to do is certainly consider moving Todd Gurley because of his big contract. Now, if we were to do that, we'd have to replace him. And Travis Etienne is available. Chuba Hubbard is available. Now, could also look into getting a quarterback, not named Jared Goff, in this draft class. Jordan Love is an option. Jacob Eason is an option. There are a lot of options on the board, clearly. Just which one is the right one? And although I think Travis Etienne's a great player, I'm going to hold on to Todd Gurley at least for one more season, if not the entire thing. I'm not sure about him yet. So I'm going to look away from a running back, and I'm going to take a quarterback, I think. And I know I've drafted Jordan Love before. Jacob Eason's here, but I'm going to draft Jordan Love again. He is a 72 overall, star development or better, only 20 years old, 93 throw power, decent accuracy across the board, good throw under pressure, good speed. Jordan Love's a really good player. Didn't really have the benefit of a lot of great targets at Utah State. Their offense was very, very bad, and Jordan Love was a bit turnover prone because of it, but I think he still is a great player, kind of has everything you look for in terms of awareness, pocket mobility, pocket presence, and the ability to fit the ball into tight windows, good arm, tight spiral, good player. And maybe he's our quarterback of the future. We'll have to see. So the only real pick we had was a second rounder, and that was spent, of course, on Jordan Love, who I would like to be the quarterback of the future. And I think the wise move would be to start him in season 1. I do, because that gives him the opportunity to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. I would love that. But we'd have to find a new home for Jared Goff. We still have a ton of holes. We just didn't have the picks to really make something happen. Didn't really have the money to make something happen. But I think the right move is to trade Jordan Love now. Or not Jordan Love. To trade Jared Goff now. And it's a lot of money. It puts us in a tough spot. But again, I think this is the correct move to make. And maybe a team like... who could be real bad that needs a quarterback? Jets, maybe? Dolphins, for sure. Could make a move with the Dolphins. 2 first rounders this year. If we can work out some type of deal to send Jared Goff to Miami in order for some picks back, I would absolutely love that. Okay, so I am trading Note Boom, Jared Goff, 5th round pick for a 1st round pick from the Dolphins, and then 2 players at the very bottom overall of their roster, just to make it so that we can get the trade to work, both financially and because of our roster size being quite low. And I know trading Jared Goff is not the most realistic move. I understand that. And this is a realistic rebuild based on the thumbnail. But that, again, that just means we're using the 2020 draft class. And I said I'm going to take some liberties, and that certainly was one. We had to free up cap space long term. Jared Goff isn't the guy. Jordan Love's going to be the guy. The team is very bad this year. It's terrible. Our offensive line is trash. Our defense is trash. This is a bridge year in order to be good. We're gonna make some moves this year. Trading Dante Fowler Jr. might even be one of them. I'm gonna probably stop the simulation around week 7 or 8 so that I can be feel free to make trades if I want to. So, yeah, welcome to the show. Jalen Ramsey, Cooper Kupp, John Johnson, Nikel Roby-Coleman, Samson Ebukam, Gerald Everett, Dante Fowler Jr., all impending free agents. Every one of them. Now, who do I want to bring back for sure? Cooper Kupp, John Johnson, for sure. Jalen Ramsey's a bit of a tougher one because I know he's going to be crazy expensive. But we're going to have the cap room now that we don't have to pay Jared Goff. So Jalen Ramsey's someone I would like to bring back. Nikel Roby-Coleman, I'm out on. He's an 83 overall, but he's 28 years old, and he's only an 83. He's going to be regressing. He's really, ironically, with his name, a nickel cornerback. Nickel. There's something there. But he's going to regress, and he's not that good to begin with. So he doesn't offer what a boundary corner does. I'm not going to pay him that type of money to be a slot corner. So I'm going to look to trade him. Nikel Roby-Coleman is asking for almost 10 mil for a 1-year contract. No. All right, trading Nikel Roby-Coleman, a 4th and a 3rd this year. The 4th is next year for a 1st-round pick and a backup running back from the Raiders. I need picks, man. I gotta work with this somehow. So those are the trades. If you don't like them, that's tough. All right, Jalen Ramsey, contract extension time. We'll give him 87.7 over 5, and he resigns. It's a big get. Cooper Kupp I want back for 3 or 4. Little expensive, but it's not overall too bad. We'll extend him to 5. Spread that out a little bit more. 71.8 over 5. I like that deal. And he wants higher salary. Okay. John Johnson. This really isn't too bad either. Good player. We'll wrap him up long term. And then we'll cross the Ebukam, Everett, and Fowler bridge when we get to it. 5-2 at the midseason mark on the back of Jordan Love. Gotta love that. Now, Cooper Kupp, I do want to extend for sure. So salary is going to have to go up on him till he accepts. And he does. Cooper Kupp re-signs. Ebukam, I want. Everett, I want. Dante Fowler, I don't know about, man. It just depends how much he's going to cost. Because all these guys are not cheap. But they're young, good players. I do want to bring them back. Ebukam wants more bonus. Does everyone on this Rams team not realize our salary cap situation at all? You can't all want more money. Just take a contract sometimes. Thank God Gerald Everett's going to play ball. All right, we had a breakout challenge for Dante Fowler Jr. I don't think we would have gotten it because he needed to do really well or hold the Niners to under 200 yards, and he didn't. So he doesn't get that, so he only has star development still, which is not bad. Once again, time to renegotiate with some of these players. Ebukam, I'd like to bring back. He wants a higher bonus. I'm not going to go over 5. I'm going to keep it at 4.89. And he resigns. Dante Fowler Jr., he's only 8 mil. And I mean, I can always trade him if I wanted to, and he resigns. Josh Reynolds is a solid backup. Just a little bit too expensive for my taste. Just a little bit too expensive when you consider the fact that he is a 4th receiver. And even though I'm probably going to end up moving Brandon Cooks, as we have Taysom Hill somehow, I'll probably end up moving Brandon Cooks. We can do better than Josh Reynolds as a 3rd receiver. So I'm going to let him go, and we will simulate to the midseason mark, or the playoffs, which it looks like we're actually going to make at 6-2 right now, with quarterback training boost now applied on Jordan Love. I was going to say applicable, but then I'm like, that's not right. And I went applied, and it sounded like applied. And it sounded like it because that's what I said, and it was not good. I'm on one today, huh? First round bye. Jordan Love's the real deal. We went 13-3. Jordan Love is the GOAT. I'm convinced. He's a god. Almost 4,000 passing yards as a rookie. 35 touchdowns. That's a rookie record by a lot. Only 7 interceptions. Rushing, Todd Gurley was very good. Could have dealt with a few more carries. Jordan Love had 6 rushing touchdowns as well. Receiving, Cooper Kupp, what a year. 1,100 yards. 15 touchdowns. Gerald Everett with 8 touchdowns. Brandon Cooks was a non-contributor. Defensively, Micah Kaiser actually had a really good year just from starting at middle linebacker. Aaron Donald did Aaron Donald type things. He was fantastic. Dante Fowler had a decent year, 9 sacks. Interceptions, 3 from Abukam, 2 for Rapp and Ramsey. Overall, we were pretty fantastic. Jordan Love finished second in the MVP voting as a rookie. We made the right decision to go with him over Jared Goff, I think. He also won Offensive Player of the Year. 2 is on the Giants now. That's crazy. Defensive Player of the Year, Eric Kendricks. Aaron Donald at 6. Offensive Rookie of the Year, shocker, it's Jordan Love. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Jacob Phillips. LSU linebacker, now to Green Bay. And we have no Rams in there because we didn't draft anybody. Now, if Jordan Love doesn't get upgraded to superstar development, I'm going to be very sad. We'll see if we can go through the Seahawks in the divisional. And we do, 28-21. Stealing it by a touchdown. And now it's another Bird team. This time, the Dirty Birds down in Atlanta. The Falcons, 9-6-1. They snuck into the playoffs. And we'll see if we can beat them to go to the Super Bowl. Now, there's never been a rookie quarterback that has started and won a Super Bowl. And that trend will continue as the Falcons beat us in the conference championship. And that's as far as we go. That's a little bit disappointing. But we will check out the new development traits, and we should have a lot of upgrade points. Jordan Love, I want to see superstar development. I want to see 82 overall with his skill points. He should be in that range. Show me better than star, please. You have got to be kidding me. Now he's playing up to an 81 with morale, but that's going to go up with his skill points. Now he won Offensive Rookie of the Year. He won Offensive Player of the Year, and his development trait stays the exact same. Stupid. Jordan Love still playing with that morale, but is up to an 84 overall. Great throw power. His accuracy's going up. He's going to be so good. Yeah, Josh Reynolds I don't want to bring back. Not really going to worry about anybody. We should have a little bit more money this year in free agency. I know we took some liberties, but I think we had to in order to make this team a contender, and Jordan Love was definitely the move. We only have 15 mil. Trent Williams is here, which is honestly not... Oh, Sheldon Rankins. Okay. He's up to superstar development. That's interesting. David Njoku, we obviously don't need. I think the move... Like, Sheldon Rankins is interesting, but, like, he's 27. There's not a whole lot of, like, big room for development there. I think we should get Trent Williams. It's going to be important that we protect Jordan Love. And even though Trent Williams is 33, he should stick around for a few more years. And he should be pretty good during that time. And if he regresses, it won't be by that much. So I think we should at least make an offer, try to outbid the Jets a little bit, and at least protect one side of our offensive line. So I guess we'll go 96 total points on Trent Williams for now. And hopefully he signs. If he doesn't, he doesn't. We'll figure it out. And he rejects. So we got to figure it out through the draft now. We have some good picks, though. There is some room for improvement, obviously. We have a lot of holes still. And we're not going to fill that in free agency at all. Greg Zuerlein's here, though. Let's give him a contract. And, of course, we can just extend this big time and then take the money down a lot. And now it's almost no points, 57 total points. But I think there's a good chance that he actually ends up accepting because he is a kicker. And there he is. Greg the Leg, welcome back. All right, pick at number 2 and number 4. We got some high draft picks. We made sure of that. But, yeah, let's go ahead and hit on these big time. Of course, I use an auto-generated class in year 2 just to mix it up a little bit more. And we really have our pick of the litter. Could go with this cornerback out of Wisconsin who looks very solid. 6'1". This is Jalen Ramsey, really. 6'1", 186. Really fast. Great top skills. Now, I don't like seeing awareness as number 1, but it's very high. His man coverage should be very high. This could be a really high overall player. Darrell Day. Could be the pick. I don't know. We'll look around. Oh, here's a great looking player. Defensive tackle Blair Culver. Jesus. His top skills are out of order, which usually means they had a storyline going, which means his development trait might be great. He could have won the Heisman or something like that at defensive tackle, so that'd be a stud of a player. Who is this in the second round? Tyrone Davidson. Skipped the combine. Baller. So Roger Goodell. Not today. Not ever. I'm going straight to the draft, and he looks like a beast. All right, we're going to take this cornerback at number 2. Darrell Day out of Wisconsin. Seems to be the pick all day. He's a number 1 player in the class. 79 overall. Star or better development. 96 speed. 96 speed to go with his 80 man coverage. Doesn't really know a thing about zone coverage. Good acceleration and agility. Block shed's pretty low. Hit power is kind of high, though. Awareness is high. What a beast. Darrell Day. Vikings at number 3 go with Sammy Shed out of Washington State, and we pick at number 4, and then again at 18. Now, I don't know what we want to do here. What do we want to do? Could go with an offensive lineman, although on my draft board I have a few of those guys a little bit later, so I'm not really sure I have to reach for that. So I'm probably going to want to go with a defensive player here. Now, Josh Bradford's good. We could improve the defensive line. We might need edge. I don't really know what I want to do here. Offensive line is our biggest need, but is it worth taking a player on the offensive line this high? I'm not sure that it is. So Jordan Love's a beast. Their offense is looking very, very solid. Obviously, I have to improve offensive line. Cornerback, we have a huge improvement incoming. We just need inside backers. Now, Ebukam, while being more of an edge rusher, even though he works best on the edge, could play on the inside pretty well. Kind of a jack of all trades. I think he could do it. So he could move to the inside. Let's if we stay in a 3-4, Aaron Donald stays. So we would need a defensive lineman. We basically need a defensive tackle. And if we took an edge rusher, move Ebukam on the inside. Dante Fowler Jr. could still come off the edge. If we move to a 4-3, Fowler at edge, Ebukam could still stay at outside linebacker. Move Aaron Donald inside. We'd still need an edge. I think we're going to lean towards an edge rusher here. And that would really give us the most options, I think. But there's not really one in this range. So if we were going to take an edge rusher, we would take the guy who's supposed to be a second-round pick in Tyrone Davidson. He's a run stopper. He's not even an edge guy. Are there any real edge rushers in this class? Not really. We're in such a weird spot. I don't know what to do here. All right, so when I don't know what to do, I trade down. And I'm getting a first-rounder next year, a second-rounder next year, and a second-rounder this year from the Vikings. The reason I like that is the Vikings are always terrible, and they picked very, very high in this class, yet their first-rounder next year is projected to be so far down, even though they just picked at 3. They're going to trade back up to 4. So those picks should be so valuable. Pick up a lot. We have a lot of holes. Looking to fill those. And there goes that defensive tackle. 76 overall out of Alabama. Really, really solid. A couple good running backs in here. We still could go offensive line with this selection. We really could. And then we could come back and take offensive line or this edge rusher at the top of the second round. So hopefully he stays available, I guess. Let's go offensive line here, just because it's such a big need for us. Daniel Maddox out of Michigan looks fantastic, and he is a 77 overall, number 2 player in the class. Star better development. What a beast. 89 strength. Run block is not that good at all, but he's a great pass blocker with high impact block. Speed's a little bit low, but what a great pass protector. I mean, this could be, he's got the build of a tackle almost. 6'5", 310 with not incredible speed, but excellent pass blocking. He could easily be a starting left tackle for us. So what an incredible selection there. We're doing fantastically with our picks, and we'll see what's available here at the top of the second. Hopefully both the offensive lineman and the edge, or the defensive lineman, I should say. He's not an edge, even though he's a defensive end. He's more IDL. 6'3", 294 run stopper. I don't like how hit power is that high. How good is Floyd Parks? Not a big bench presser. I think we're going to... And we pick back-to-back. It doesn't matter. We can take both if we wanted to. Let's take both. Why not? We'll go Tyrone Davidson first. And he is number 5 in the class. Taking him at the top of the second round was a wise move. Star or better development. He'll be fantastic. Great on the defensive line. Power moves is all right. Speed is all right. Strength is high. I mean, he's really, really well balanced. And those are always the highest overall players. And he has big hitter trait, which is interesting. I guess on the defensive line. Either way, fantastic. And then we'll back that up with another offensive line selection, and that is going to be in Floyd Parks out of Notre Dame. He is a 74 overall, unfortunately only normal development, but number 11 in the class, and the exact same face of the previous defensive lineman we drafted. But he's very good, to be fair. Strength is a little low, but it's not that low. And then he's got good run block and pass block. Pretty good everything. Nice speed at 69. So we have crushed it in this draft. And then we'll end this with an offensive lineman. Donald Winslow out of Cincinnati. He is a 71 overall, only normal development. Number 24 in the draft. We took him at 62. But not terrible strength, I guess, if we had to take something out of there. Nice speed as well. Yeah, like 86 strength of the offensive line we just drafted was not a little low. It really, like, that's pretty good. 83 is a little low. It's not great, but it is what it is. We did great in the draft, so no real complaints. I think we are definitely on the right path now. So this is how the team's going to look for season 3. Maddox is actually a 78 overall center, so I moved him to center. Why not? We'll do that. Parks is going to start at left tackle. Winslow is going to start at left guard. All rookies. And of course, David Edwards is still pretty young at only 24 years old. Receiving core stays the same. Defense side of the ball changes a little bit here as Micah Kaiser and Kenny Young stay at middle linebacker. But we have the rookie Tyrone Davidson starting at right end, and we've got the rookie Darrell Day starting at corner. Looks pretty solid overall. The team's definitely improving in a big way. And hopefully we are successful again as we look to lean on Jordan Love for a second consecutive season, as this time, hopefully, we make it to the Super Bowl and, of course, win. 5-2 at the midseason mark, so once again doing quite well. We will upgrade the team. Hopefully, I want to see superstar development abilities unlocked. Show me ability unlocks. Yes. Darrell Day for sure has superstar or higher. Cooper Kupp is an impending free agent. But all I want to see, as I use Coach XP, show me Superstar X Factor. Just because of how sick that would be. Show me Superstar X Factor, please. What is happening? It's not working. And also, if Tyrone Davidson has it, or any of my offensive linemen, or the center, if he has Superstar development, that'd be awesome too. It's only star. That's what you're going to have like 9 times out of 10, I feel, with offensive linemen. But then defensively, all right. So he's got Superstar, which is, that's fine. A little bit of a letdown. Davidson has only star. That's a big letdown. But they're good young players, so we'll just continue to work with that. And we didn't get the great development traits we wanted, but that doesn't mean they were bad picks. Still, obviously, quite good. And do we want to bring back Robert Woods? It's an interesting question for the 29-year-old down to an 84 overall. And I think the answer is not on a 3-year deal, but he's not going to accept anything less. That's the problem with this. I hate it. I talk about it every single time we do one of these. And I'll show you guys. I'll bump it up. I would give him, just to prove a point, 20 mil over 1 year, and he still wouldn't accept this. Oh my, he accepted it. That's crazy. You got to give him just so much more money. That's basically like a franchise tag. And yeah, I know what you're thinking. Everyone just face palmed because I'm giving Robert Woods 20 mil. It's only for a year. I should have just given him franchise tag money, I guess. Whatever. I'm so stupid. It's crazy. I mean, it doesn't impact us that much, but that is a funny moment. Classic Bengal fail. You know what I mean? Playoff time. Oh no, it isn't. We choked hard. We went 8-8. What happened the second half of the season? We were looking so promising. We just decided, let's lose a bunch. Hate to see it. Hate to see it. So I guess we just didn't make the playoffs. That's Jordan Love regressed big time. So big. What was our offense doing? Like, Todd Gurley was still good. Why was the offense so terrible? I don't know. That's frustrating. 14 sacks for Donald, 8 for the rookie Davidson. Show me some interceptions for the rookie. Darrell Day had 2. I'll take it. I'll take it. Our offense was so terrible. I don't know why. Josh Allen won MVP. No Rams in there, of course. NFC Offensive Player of the Year, Tua Tagovailoa with the Giants. Defensive Player of the Year, Fred Warner. Aaron Donald at 6. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Daquan Walton. No Rams. And then Defensive Rookie of the Year is Tyrone Davidson. Let's go. Daryl Day at 3, and the guy I preferred to win it did, because he has a lower development trait, which means I guess there's a higher chance for him getting upgraded now. I'm still in shock that we didn't make the playoffs, and our offense took an absolute nosedive. I don't know what happened. It's so strange. Free agency, we have 17 mil to potentially spend. Von Miller here. Vonnie Bivashan. I still don't really know how to pronounce his middle name. Ooh, Orlando Brown Jr. is here. That's tempting. I don't really want Von Miller because he's old, and I want to get the team better long term, not like watch it regress. But what an addition that Orlando Brown Jr. would be. However, I do need some middle linebackers pretty bad, so maybe we'll focus on that with no Kenny Young and no Micah Kaiser. Yeah, 2 studs, I know. I don't know how we'll ever replace them. Boom! Brought in Orlando Brown Jr. Braden Smith was also in free agency. Thought about offering him a contract, but I like Orlando Brown Jr. better. I think he's, I don't know. I just like him more. And he'll probably play at left tackle for us. We could move Havenstein inside if we wanted to. But, yeah, we got our new left tackle for sure. NFL draft time. We pick at number 4 overall. So the trade back with the Vikings was certainly a good move. Also number 17. Now, what do we really need here? Because we have Robert Woods for 1 year. We're giving him a lot of money. That's still funny. Our offensive line looks pretty solid now. Those guys are progressing. Is Gerald Everett regressing? No, Gerald. Oh, my God. Yeah, Robert Woods is down to an 82. I'm not bringing him back next year. So wide receiver is definitely on the table. And then defensively, we need linebackers more than anything. But other than that, the team's pretty good. We just need linebackers. Ooh, there are more and more ballers, it feels like, every time I'm in the draft. Kirkland Bates. Supposed to go in the 3rd round. That could definitely be an early 2nd round pick for us. That'd be very nice. Who is this? Garrison Massey out of Wyoming? Speed's a little low, but it's not. 4.49 is still pretty good. That's going to be maybe early 90s. Somewhere in there. Low 90s. He's got great ability. 3rd round. Oh, how are we going to choose who to pick here? Number 4, I hope this middle linebacker is still available. I hope he's still available. Please, he's not supposed to go for a little bit. There he is. Gerard Zachary. He's the pick. We need a middle linebacker. No, he's bad. Well, I get 74 overall. He was higher than Micah Kaiser and Kenny Young. Here's the issue. He only has normal development. 74 overall. He's a great player. 87 speed, high tackle and acceleration and strength and coverage isn't bad. Agility's pretty high too. Catching's not low. He can get after the quarterback with good power and finesse moves. He's a good player, but normal development is so awful. I hate seeing it. I'm taking this defensive tackle. Maybe he'll play over Greg Gaines. Not a lot of good linebackers in this class. I'll level with you. But Lester Shade looks like he could be fantastic. Out of South Carolina. He is a 75 overall, ranked number 9 in the class. He's wearing number 69. Nice. Hidden development is always good to see. Good strength. Block shed's a little low. But power moves is pretty good. Finesse moves is pretty good. Not a bad player. We're going to take this corner here at number 4 in the 2nd round just because he looks like a monster. Garrison Massey. He's number 2 in the class. 77 overall. Also only normal development. You're killing me. 89 speed. 79 man. High press. Zone coverage is not so good. High awareness. Block shed's a little low. What is up with normal development, man? I thought we were out of that. I thought we were taking superstars only. Turns out, no. And I guarantee this dude's going to be normal development now. If he's even still here. Now he is. Kirkland Bates out of UCLA. Welcome to the team. All right. He at least is star development or better. Number 11 in the class. You took him at 49. 74 overall. Hopefully that's superstar development. He's got great speed, acceleration. Finesse moves is pretty good. Good pursuit. I mean, he's a pass rusher. I don't know what our defensive scheme is going to look like at all. I don't even have a guess. Why not take some first-round projected offensive linemen to either be backups or come in and play if they have good development traits? Floyd Godwin is a 72 overall, and I very, very much doubt the other offensive lineman will be available in the 5th round, and if he's not, I will just trade down. we'll trade down next year with the Browns for a 4th rounder, and then simulate to the end of the draft. Ibukam's got to move to the inside. That's what we're doing. He'll be a lower overall, and it's not an ideal position for him, but he has to. He has to move to the inside to give this team a good shot on defense. There just weren't enough good off-the-ball linebackers. And he goes down to a 76 overall, which is not ideal to say the least. But it's probably the best setup for us right now. All right, this is the offense. Looks pretty solid. No real complaints. And then defensively, Kirkland Bates is going to start out at right outside linebacker. We got Shade at defensive tackle. Gerard Zachary, the rookie, at middle linebacker. Again, I don't want to play Ibukam at middle linebacker, but we don't have a whole lot of other choices. So it is what it is. Midseason mark. We are 4-4. Not out of the race in the NFC West. Very much in it. Robert Woods is an impending free agent. As I mentioned before, I'm not bringing him back. Taylor Rapp, I do want to bring back. Only 24 years old. Havenstein, kind of depends what he wants, doesn't it? I do a 2-year contract. 14.6 over 2. Not bad, and he returns. And then Taylor Rapp, I think he's blossoming into a pretty good player for us. Incredibly cheap, little slow. If anything, and he's got bad block shed, we could move Taylor Rapp to linebacker. Ooh, I hadn't even considered that as a thing. So Taylor Rapp resigned, 6-year deal for him. Now, maybe it's not this season. Maybe we don't play him at linebacker this season. But maybe Taylor Rapp plays inside linebacker for us next season. Bates only has star development, so that's a little bit disappointing. Shade only has star development, so that's a little bit disappointing. This could easily be a 4-3 team. Taylor Rapp to linebacker. Ibukam would be on the outside. I mean, I guess, how would we shape that up? So Shade would be, it's not really a 4-3 team. I don't know. I haven't figured out what's happening, okay? I have no idea. We're winging this big time. Ooh, we made the playoffs, 9-7. Just sneaking in now. The Seahawks won the division. But we'll go ahead and check out the stats. Offense improved a little bit. Touchdowns are still down for Jordan Love. He can't replicate the magic from his rookie season. Although Todd Gurley definitely stepped up to the plate. Jordan Love ran 83 times. It's way too many. Cooper Kupp with a good year. Brendan Cooks with a good year. Robert Woods didn't do a whole lot. Defensively, Ibukam was incredible in his role, as he probably offered such a great pass rush up the middle. Ton of tackles for him. Bunch of sacks. Aaron Donald, a lot of tackles for loss. We didn't get a whole lot of pressure for any one player, but as a team we did. Only 3 interceptions for the team is pretty awful. Trubisky wins MVP of the 8-8 Patriots. No Rams. NFC Offensive Player of the Year, Russell Wilson. Jordan Love at 4. Defensive Player of the Year, Eric Kendricks. Ibukam at 8 in his new role. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Cedric Sapp. No Rams. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Gerard Zachary. I'll take that. Kirkland Bates at 2. Garrison Massey at 3. Lester Shade at 6. So this is the team upgraded for the playoffs. Defensively, I think we're coming along pretty nicely. Again, I still don't know how I want things to shape up, because I know that very easily we could move someone back to safety at corner. Like David Long, honestly, wouldn't make a terrible safety. A little bit light, but I mean, his tackling's lower than I thought it would be. I don't know. I feel like I've been ignorant during this rebuild. I've said things that I don't agree with, which is odd because I'm saying them, and then right after I'm like, no. It's an odd relationship. We're definitely going to do another season after this, so there's no real need to jump in the wild card. We'll see if we can win, and we do. 42-31. And now the Giants in the division. My favorite team. Bittersweet if we win. Not really. It's a video game. I want to win. I want to beat them. I want to be in the conference championship, and we are. And we are facing the Seattle Seahawks. I didn't mean to pull that up. I thought I said upgrade players. Am I blind? I guess I just assumed. I don't even think I read it, to be fair. Here we go. Super Bowl time. Beat the Seahawks. Come on. Yes. And we meet the Jets in the Super Bowl. What an unlikely thing to happen, as Zachary's going to go up. Hopefully his development trade goes up. I need to see at least star. Show me some development trade upgrades on the offensive side of the ball. Please. 0. What about defensively? I want to see at least 1. None. How is this happening every time? No one ever gets it upgraded anymore. Used to happen all the time. Used to see like 1 a year. Now, no, not even close. Zachary, who won defensive rookie of the year, doesn't even go up. Yeah, sick. Come on, man. It's stupid. Some people want me to adjust it by myself if they win an award. That feels a little bit disingenuous, even if I think it should happen. The fact of the matter is that it didn't happen. So if I change it by myself, it feels like cheating. All right, here we are up 13-10 going into the half, and now into the second half, up 16-10. Let's pile it on. Don't let the Jets come back into this. Fourth quarter, up 19-13. Make it 22-13, 2 scores. Jets answer very quickly. They're driving down the field. Time expires. The LA Rams are Super Bowl champions, defeating whoever the Jets quarterback is. It doesn't look like it's Sam Darnold. It's whoever Long is. Auto-generated player. But yes, we managed to win the Super Bowl, and we're going to come back for another season and try to repeat. Always nice when things work out. Built a team, and we actually perform well. I don't know who number 10 is. Lester Shade. A defensive tackle, won player of the game with a 4-sack performance. Never seen that. As a rookie, what a beast. Jordan Love hoists the Lombardi with Todd Gurley, Cooper Kupp and company. I think Gerard Zachary is up there as well. And we are, Super Bowl champions. Martin Long is the name of the Jets QB. As we will try to repeat, coming back for 1 more year. Let's get after it, boys. All right, Robert Woods is gone. He's down to a 79. Taco Charlton, no thanks. David Long, we don't really need. Darrell Henderson's a good backup. So I guess we can extend him for 5 years. And then what do we really need? We need a linebacker. We don't need Greg Gaines anymore because we drafted a sick defensive tackle that had 4 sacks in the Super Bowl. So we need wide receiver, middle linebacker. I got to change the defense a little bit because I'm not really sure where our strengths even are. It's so strange. Abukham would be better served to play outside linebacker. If we move to a 4-3, Donald can do whatever, but he's a defensive tackle. So we'd probably want to play him at defensive tackle. Even though he would probably be dominant as an edge rusher. That's a weird looking face scan. Aaron Donald could move to defensive end in a 4-3. I know that's not like what would happen in real life, but he has the ability to do it. Now, we have 3 defensive tackles. It's a 3-4. But then Bates is an edge rusher. Dante Fowler Jr. is an edge rusher. Ibukham's an outside linebacker. Edge rusher, almost. I don't know what I want to do with him. He's got 87 finesse moves. Like, something's got to change here. I think the odd man out is Dante Fowler Jr. I think he's the guy that's got to go. 29 years old. I know we just extended him. He's got 3 years left. I'm going to trade Dante Fowler Jr. Are there no good linebackers in free agency at all? Oh, actually, Bobby Boyce is always young and a good superstar development. So we could give him... I mean, he's worth a lot more than this. So if this is like 140 points, 175, I can probably tone that down slightly. He's just so cheap. Like, this is not a big contract. Yet it's 140 points still. 122. That's enough to get him easily. We're not going to bring that down. So we got Bobby Boyce. Big addition to the team. I also offered a contract to Mecole Hardman, who ends up rejecting. That's fine. We'll look receiver in the draft. We can always move up final year. We can get a little bit frisky with it. Picking at number 32, obviously, because we won the Super Bowl. But again, I would not be opposed to moving up if the right player was there. Got to rearrange this team. Offensive line's good. Just, we need receivers. And then defensively, linebacker is good now. I'm just probably going to trade Dante Fowler Jr. in order to move up in the draft. As always, whenever I need a position, the draft could not be worse for that position. Look at these wide receivers. Are you kidding me? These are so terrible. Most of these guys are undrafted. Making a trade with the Eagles here to move up from 32 to 11. We're trading at second this year and next year in order to do it. And that trade, I can tell you, is going to be part of an even bigger trade. Because if this gets accepted the way I think that it will, we're going to be in a tremendous spot. It's Dante Fowler Jr. And it will be a first-round pick for hopefully a wide receiver from the Texans. Finally, I could get some trade to go through. I tried to get DeAndre Hopkins. They accepted it, but they would exceed the salary cap because I guess they extended DeAndre Hopkins and it wasn't going to work. But we got Keenan Allen. That's a great addition to this team, going from LA all the way to LA. I'm going to simulate to the end of the draft. We pretty much did what we wanted to do with upgrading receiver in a huge way with Keenan Allen. Cost a lot to do it, but I think it was well worth it. So this will be the team for what probably will be the final season. Good offensive line. Great receiving core now. When Brandon Cooks is your third receiver, I think you're in pretty good shape. Linebacking core is pretty good. Ibukon's been moved to outside linebacker. Bates is a beast, also at outside linebacker. The inside is fantastic. Our secondary is very good, led by Jalen Ramsey and, of course, Darrell Day. Defensive line is solid. Aaron Donald highlights that group. And then with the specialists, we'll have Cooper Kupp and Brandon Cooks in the slot. Ramsey is not going to be our slot cornerback. We'll put Massey in the slot. And then have Ibukam and Bates coming off the edge. I'm going to move Davidson down. Mid-season mark. We are 6-1. Fantastic. Not going to deal with any of these contracts because this will be the final season. And then Davidson has potential to go up in development. So actually, what I'll probably do is I'll insert him back at rush end. And the reason that I'll do that is because he's actually a much higher overall at rush end than Bates is, which I'm not sure why, because Bates is a 69 overall rush right end, but an 80 overall rush left end. And now I know there are slightly different responsibilities in a 3-4 for each side, strong and weak, but for his overall to drop to a 69 seems odd. But for rush right end, that's more hand in the dirt, likely to play inside. But it's not like I'm going to play Bates over Ibukam. So, I don't know. It is what it is. It's not that big of a deal. Now to the playoffs, which we got a first round bye. 13-3. We crushed it. Jordan Love was pretty good this year. Pretty good. No real complaints. Only 3 interceptions to go with 30 touchdowns. Rushing Todd Gurley was quite solid. Jordan Love, 85 carries. Cooper Kupp was phenomenal. 14 touchdowns, which was a lot, all things considered. Our backup tight end even got pretty involved. Defensively, Darrell Day led our team in tackles. That's always odd when a corner does that. Aaron Donald was good. We got a lot more pressure as a team now. Lester Shade with 10. Aaron Donald with 9.5. Davidson with 9.5. Ibukam with 8.5. Fantastic. Jalen Ramsey even had 5 picks. The rest of the team had 2 combined. Yearly awards. Trubisky wins MVP again. Just what he does. Jordan Love at 8. NFC Offensive Player of the Year is Jordan Love. Strange. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Jelani Tavai. No Rams. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Tevin Hinton. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Perry Wilkerson. No Rams. In the divisional, we got the 9-7 Dallas Cowboys. We'll take a final look at the team before this playoff run. And, I mean, it looks pretty solid. Jordan Love up to a 93, even if he never got up to superstar development. And then Davidson's up to an 87. Shade up to an 85. Day's at a 90, which means he got a new superstar ability, which is Unfakeable and Pick Artist. Kind of some useless ones, I'm not going to lie to you. But the team looks very solid. John Johnson's very quietly approaching a 90 overall, but we'll simulate past the divisional, maybe jump in the conference championship if we make it, and we do not, losing 24-10. I'll simulate to the Super Bowl in case we get any development upgrades. But that's going to do it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This was a fun team. Of course, we had to make some executive decisions, and the biggest one, obviously, was getting rid of Jared Goff and choosing to go a different direction. But it's my team. I make the decisions, and I decided I'd rather have Jordan Love than Jared Goff. And I think there's no way Jared Goff ever would have gotten up to a 94 overall in this system. So I think we made the right decision. And then as far as development trade upgrades, shocker, nobody got upgraded. But this is the final team. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And I will see you in the next one. Take it easy.
Are you the queen? So give it up. King.